It is a good life we lead, brother.
The best. May it never change.
And may it never change us.
Now we come to Assassin's Creed 2. I'm not breaking any new ground here, guys. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty fucking good. Before I begin, I want to clarify one thing. These videos are being written from the perspective of someone who hasn't played these games before, nor the future installments. Thus, I won't be comparing the game I am currently reviewing to a future title. Just a little explanation there. Assassin's Creed 1 was a pretty bare-bones experience compared to its successor. You had minimal characters with even less development. In Assassin's Creed 1, you were dropped into Altair, with barely any background, and all you got from him was that he was a conceited asshole that thought he was better than everyone else. I guess he's sort of humbled by the end of the game, but that's kind of a stretch. Assassin's Creed 2 starts with the scene of our character being fucking born.
Listen to him. A fine set of lungs.
And what shall we call him, my love?
Ezio. Ezio Auditore da Firenze.
And even though we skip ahead to his teenage years, we learn he has a family, and as brief as it is, we get a look into the different relationships he has with each member.
It reminds me of myself when I was your age.
You should find an outlet.
I have plenty of outlets.
I meant besides vaginas.
Mother.
A father he respects, works for, and loves. A mother and sister he cares about. Hell, one of the first missions in the game is to defend your sister's honor.
Hey! Lurido porco!
Ezio, my friend. Ah! Ma che ti piglia?
You insult my sister. Parading around with this puttana.
What are you talking about?
They are...
Ezio has two brothers, one of which he has a playful sibling rivalry with.
We should head home, Ezio. Up for a little race, then?
To where?
Roof of that church.
The other is a sick boy, but you can tell in these few moments that he's close to
I
that.
want those feathers.
What for?
It's a secret.
And what I'm saying here is that in the first chapter of the game, Ezio isn't even an assassin, or even knows that the assassins exist. He's just the fun-loving son of a noble, and has people he cares about. Which is why, when his family is betrayed and murdered, we get an understanding of Ezio's feelings and motives.
We will!
Altair didn't have any of this. He was just an assassin, told to kill people, and he did. Granted, at the end of the game, it was stop the bad man from doing the bad thing, but there wasn't really a whole lot of progression there. It just kind of happens. Ezio experiences loss.
Giovanni Auditore, you and your accomplices stand accused of the crime of treason.
Meets his uncle.
Don't you recognize me? It's me, Mario!
Is then informed of his assassin heritage, is trained throughout the game, unbeknownst to him, and what starts as a quest for revenge becomes more of a hero story. Ezio is, at heart, a nice guy and wants to help everyone he can. He wants to free the people from tyranny. We are shown that he is capable of mercy.
Get it over with, then.
No. Killing you won't bring my family back. I'm done.
And that he has other human urges. And it's just nice to play a character in a game that's so likable. Even Desmond's segments were better. The first thing we do with Desmond is escape Abstergo, and he even gets to punch dudes. We get to meet a small team with very distinct personalities and things to say.
I'm sorry, where are my manners? I'm Sean Hastings. This is Rebecca Crane.
Nice to meet you, Desmond.
Right, well, it's been lovely chatting, but if you don't mind, Desmond, it's best we get straight to work.
The segments aren't perfect, but they're much better. They don't feel as intrusive, and they provide you with more of a sense of purpose to the story instead of get up, go to bed, get back in the Animus.
What's all this stuff for?
This stuff, Desmond. Oh, this stuff is nothing special, really, this stuff. It's just the stuff that keeps our entire operation from falling apart, really. It requires a great deal of concentration to keep it all moving, so you'll forgive me if I don't have time to play meet and greet.
And this is kind of a side note, but over the past few years, Ubisoft has been re-releasing remasters of the older Assassin's Creed games, Ezio's Trilogy, Assassin's Creed 3, and Rogue thus far. I think it says something that they haven't given the same treatment to Assassin's Creed 1. While it's not a bad game, I don't think that the design holds up, and Ubisoft probably realizes this. The structure of the game changed so much from going to what was essentially a back-and-forth experience to a more linear story progression, a likable character instead of a wooden plank. But that's more of a personal side tangent, so I digress. The presentation is great. Apart from a few minor technical hiccups, the game looks fantastic. The way the animus constructs each city is stylish and a lot of fun to watch the first time around. Each city looks distinct from one another, the most interesting being Venice for sure. There's this neat little, I don't know, scan that happens over Ezio when you change his weapons or armor, like he's being digitally processed within the animus. It just looks really cool. Obviously, not every character model looks amazing, but all the important characters look pretty good. Assassin's Creed 2 also brought in more of a player-controlled RPG element with the addition of different weapons and armor sets. While the player is more likely to choose the armor with the best stats, the variety in the sets is fairly diverse. And of course, there's also an unlockable set. You can get a variation of Altair's armor from the first game.
Look around. These are the assassins who guarded the freedom of humanity when it was most threatened. And this is the armor of Altair. Little is known about Altair's life, but his armor is light and very strong. I'd give it to you, but I don't know how to retrieve it.
Thank you, Altair, for this great gift. May it shield me from my enemies.
Damn, does this look cool. Weapons fall into the same trap, so to speak. A player is most likely to pick the weapon with the best stats, but the different weapon types do change up the playstyle a little bit. It's a good step in the right direction. They also introduced a bit of an economy system to the game. Overall, it's pretty shallow, but it's a good way to utilize the currency beyond weapons and armor. I mean, you still end up with more than enough cash to beat the game, but I think it was meant to be another building block for future installments. After a few missions, you are brought to a stronghold where you can invest your money into opening and upgrading shops, banks, brothels, and more. Each time you invest in an upgrade, your stronghold value increases, and you'll be rewarded in income every 20 minutes. I think it maxed out around 50,000 florins or so. There were times where if I had to go off and do something, like run an errand or a chore, I would just keep the game running so the money would accumulate and I would be rich when I got back. Money can also be used to hire assistance from the courtesans, thieves, and mercenaries. They all generally serve the same purpose, to distract or attack guards blocking your path or chasing you down. They also keep you from being spotted on a tailing mission, for example. And let me just say, I hate tailing missions in games. Not because they're difficult, but just because they're so boring. There's only like 2 or 3 in the whole game, so it's pretty negligible. I just thought I'd share something about myself. Collectibles are back, and while some of these missions are better than others, they at least offer in-game rewards this time around, as well as the achievement or trophy. There are 100 feathers you need to find, which is much more reasonable than the 400 plus flags in Assassin's Creed 1. This rewards you with a short cutscene, new weapon unlocks, and a new cape for Ezio. There are 6 medallions that act as rewards for completing optional tombs. The medallions act as keys to the cage that holds Altair's armor set. Easily worth doing. I mean, look how pretty I am. Throughout the story, you can also find these glyphs that open up minigames which expand upon Subject 16's role in the Assassin's Creed universe. Collecting all 20 unlocks an additional cutscene. It's nice to have tangible rewards for completing tasks in-game. Some people are totally fine with just trophies and achievements, and that's all well and good. But I think just getting to experience something because you completed an optional task is far more rewarding, and much more of a draw to do something a lot of people otherwise wouldn't. All that said, I will bring up one of the most pointless collection quests. Throughout the stronghold, there are 8 statuettes hidden on the walls of some buildings. You activate your eagle vision, do a quick runaround, and place the statues on these pedestals next to your house. You get 8,000 florins for doing this. It's not a lot, and on the flip side, it's something, but by the time I did this quest, I think I already had like 200,000 or something like that. I don't know, it just felt pointless to me. And I think this may be a good time to segue into the things I'm not super fond of in this game. The horses control like ass. Sometimes the detection of where you want to jump can still be a little spotty. Targeting can be a bit of a pain. And this guy, but that's kind of it, to be honest. It's just a solid game. I guess it's a little on the easy side, but I mean, it kept me entertained enough to play for 47 hours and get the platinum trophy, even if I didn't collect all the treasure and climb all the towers. I think that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to say for this video. My original plan was to make a second part which would focus strictly on the story and how it was broken down, but let me know below if that's something you'd want to see, or if I should just move on to Brotherhood. If you like this video, you know what to do. If you want to subscribe for more, you know what to do. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoy super chill streams with a fun guy, go check out my buddy Papa Bray on Twitch. He streams shit like Far Cry, The Sims, Civilization, and he's even streamed some of the more recent Assassin's Creed games. This series is kind of inspired by that, so go check him out and give him a follow. Thanks again.